Yo, JD here, to Luminous, and I won't say it anymore. Oh, not sure how long it's been since I've last uploaded our last video, but yeah, hello and welcome to some sort of highlights, but sort of also a bit of an explanation as to why there has been none for the past 3 weeks or so. So basically, been very busy with sort of personal life, work stuff, and haven't really had a chance to practice or make the highlights in that fact. So yeah, been going in, playing for like the race, then not coming on, doing any practice for the entire week, and just going straight to the next race. So that's why it's not been ideal, and I've not made any highlights because, to be quite honest, it's been really slow because I've not played the game. It's not so much the practice; it's probably more just the playtime. There's a lot of you will know, if you don't play the game for a week and then just come back, yeah, it's very difficult to get into the swing. So yeah, in this video, it's going to be a little bit of a compilation of the races that have happened. So as you see in the background now, this is the Netherlands, which is the race after Belgium that happened. Yeah, the last one uploaded. So yeah, I'll be going along with these as you are, because to be honest, other than putting them together now, I can't remember what happened in these races that happened yeah, weeks ago now. So in the background is my qualifying lap for Zandvoort. As you can see at the moment, I'm down in P15, but whilst I was blabbering at the start, you could probably see the championship standings that were from Belgium whenever the last race was. So, and I think we're still leading it, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it was looking very good, but as I said, and as you can probably expect, by the end of this video, we're definitely not going to be up there anymore. But yeah, on this lap in the background, it's not an amazing lap, obviously. It doesn't look too bad, but yeah, the lack of practice and pace really shows here. A lot of people I know can do it. I know, like Matthew of Blizzard can just show up and be right on it, but yeah, that's very difficult to do. And it's probably not so much the pace, it's probably more knowing what you're doing and the strategies and whatnot. So yeah, we're going to the race then for Zandvoort, and we start on the hard tyres, mainly because I want to try something different. I was right at the back, so didn't really see the need to go on the mediums, and unless anything crazy happens, it's very unlikely we get points from right at the back here. Yeah, the qualifying lap gave us like 17th or something, so yeah, and it didn't even feel that bad. I don't think I'd have got much higher on a good lap. So yeah, it really does show the lack of pace. But yeah, we're going to skip through this relatively quickly. We go all the way to lap 23, basically when the leaders pit, and we're sort of the alt strat runners now. So we're going to go around the outside of Petrux here, who doesn't own EOS. There's a bit of contact on the inside. You can see he spins out, which is quite controversial in the end, because we did get a 5-second penalty for that. But I'll come on to that in a minute, as we've now got Wheel G, who's about to get blown up here by Samo Bean into the wall, and there's a virtual safety car. So yeah, he's not had much luck this season, Will G, but yeah, anyway, we skip on to lap 31. We're going to go down the inside of Samo Bean on the hards. I think he's been in his fair share of incidents in this race, but yeah, we'll go. We'll move on, and Ash Best is pretty much the final one we had any chance of overtaking. He doesn't make it easy for us. Brakes very late into turn one, was a bit of contact, but yeah, we have the pace advantage at this stage, and we're going to go ahead, and we finish in P11, so outside the points. And annoyingly, because we finished P11, the penalty that we got from the Petrux incident carries on into the next race, which is France. So yeah, this race is going to have a penalty with it. Unfortunately, I don't have any qualifying footage, but as you can tell by the starting position, it was pretty bad. As you know, the lack of practice really hampers the qualifying more than anything. But yeah, so we're down at the back once again, starting on the hard tyres. We're going to go for the alternate strategy. I know France is usually quite interesting in terms of, everyone crashing and everything, so it's always interesting. As you can see, there's all sorts of mess going on here. So We're just trying to find our way through. Annoyingly, we didn't really make up much from that. We're still down in 17th. We're going to go side by side with the recon now. As we come on this back straight, we're going to get a warning from running wide, which is slightly annoying, but yeah, we're going to use our overtake mix now to try and get past recon. He's usually not the fastest and not the person you want to stick behind. I don't want to sound bad or anything saying that, but yeah, we get past and we're onto the back of Benjamin, but we're going to skip all the way to lap 20 because once again it was just pretty much just a train, to be honest, and nothing happening. We put the medium tyres on and trying to get back towards the points now. So lap 21, we're on the back of Benjamin. I don't know why he went so slow there. We hit him, but he gets out of the way and lets us through. I think, yeah, he was quite a lot off the pace this race as well. But going to the last lap, we are now fighting for P11 on Young Power. We get a bit of a tag there as he tries to hang around the outside. This is quite a nice battle there from Rightly. We do a little switch back on him and try and go down the inside. This track definitely promotes quite nice racing, just because of the lines you can take through every corner. But yeah, it's just switch back after switch back through this entire first section. We're going to get up the inside, going onto the straight, a little bit of a tank slapper. He's going to get the inside, and I think he gets the DRS as well here. So yeah, we're not going to fight it too much and try and save the ERS that we have for the next straight. We also didn't really have much fuel either, so yeah, that's not ideal. Again, that's probably the lack of knowledge, but yeah, we're going to come onto the straight, use the overtake, and it should be a pretty simple move in the end. So we're going to get around the outside of Young Power up into P11. So again, it's 11th, which is really annoying, but yeah, this race was pretty irrelevant due to that penalty. Yeah, I don't want to get into the I was quite annoyed by the penalty and some of the other penalties that weekend, but yeah, won't get into that now. But yeah, so the result was irrelevant from the start, but we do come across the line in P12, and that's that. But yeah, Canada was the next one. Again, pretty much no practice, but it's always interesting in Canada just due to the fact that it's a two-stop. But as you can see in the background, the race didn't save that I had, and this was the end of it. There was a bit of a collision at the last corner, so yeah, the race didn't save annoyingly. It was quite a fun race, and it would have been quite fun to make highlights on, but yeah, I didn't get any points in the end. We did do sort of a reverse strategy, but yeah, as you see, it didn't go very well in the end. I think we could have got some good points, but yeah, it is what it is. So this then was the race that we did yesterday, Japan. So I'm going to take you through a little bit more of a thorough highlights for this, as we usually do. So this is the end of our first qualifying lap we did. It wasn't very good, 25.6. It puts us P10. I think the lap we did last season was a 0.3. I even think even that was like 13th. So it's going to take quite something to get a good lap. But as you can see, we get an absolutely amazing chicane there, losing about 0.2, which is good. And we do a 0.3, so that's pretty similar to what we did last season. Puts us up into P8 provisionally, but as you'll see in a minute, it's going to drop us down quite a few places. And you can see the lap times here. I was just thinking, it's ridiculous. You need a 0.2 to even be in the top 10. And this grid usually is slightly slower than it was last season. So, yeah, the pace is really, really quick here. But going to the final run, we're down in P14. We're just going to have to absolutely send it to have any chance of getting anywhere higher than, where we are now. We're going to need a very good lap to get anywhere near the top 10. But as you'll see, as I went through turn 1, yeah, the back end sort of came out and we pretty much lost 0.2 at turn 1. So the lap's pretty much over now, annoyingly. Do gain a little bit of time through the end of sector 1. But as you'll see, the first sector split, it's a 30.9 or high 30.9. I know the people at the front were doing like mid 0.6s, so it was about 0.3 in comparison to them, which isn't ideal. But yeah, throughout the rest of the lap, it was quite good actually. Only half a tenth down now, so we're gaining a little bit of time back. And as you recall from the previous lap, the final chicane wasn't very good, so we should be able to gain a lot of time. Through Spoon here, this was a really, really good line through. That's probably the best I've ever taken it, to be honest. And we actually find ourselves green now. We'll come through the second sector split now. We're actually purple, and sometimes that lies, but it actually was purple. We did the fastest middle sector of anyone in this session, so it does show we did have actually fairly decent pace here. We'll come through the final chicane, gain a little bit of time back on that rubbish lap we did beforehand, and it's a 0.2, so considering we lost nearly 2/10 at the first corner, that wasn't too bad actually. It puts us 13th again, so the same as it was last season. But yeah, just to take a minute and look at that grid, because you needed a low 0.1 to get in the top 10, which is absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. But yeah, without further ado, we're going to skip straight into the race then for this one. And I'm pretty sure my tyres were cold, because as you can see, we lost so many positions off the line. Just had so much wheel spin, which is really, really weird. And definitely not what you want around a track like Japan, where overtaking is, well, it's pretty much impossible with the DRS. But yeah, as usual, we're just threading it through the first section, the first lap. A little bit of snap. We've got Jordan on our inside. We're going to try and hang this around the outside. Gives us the inside for Dunlop, but we should get that move done. So it's not an ideal start. We've lost a position to Suso, who's up to P12 now, still behind Recon. But we're going to take this opportunity to try and get past whilst everyone's sort of trying to get into some sort of order. We're going to go on the outside of Recon here. You can tell he doesn't really want us to go past, but we do have a fairly good run around the outside. Gives a bit of a squeeze, giving me AOR flashbacks here. But yeah, we're going to go on the outside into Spoon. This was very scary. I thought I was going to die. But yeah, we get around, and that was quite a nice move, to be honest. So onto the back of Suso and Blizzard then. They're the two lead alt strat runners. And you can see here Recon wants to come back at us, so we're going to have to use some overtake to defend. More than I really wanted to, but yeah, we should hopefully keep him behind. He's quite close again. I think he's going to try and go on the outside. We outbrake him just about and managed to stay within this lead train. So yeah, as you'll see in a minute, as the case is all the time now, yeah, you can't really overtake in these trains, and it's just going to be, you know, status quo until the pit stops happen, which is really why you want to be sort of the top two in the train. But unfortunately, with a third man, which is not ideal, but yeah, as long as you can stick with it, you should be okay. As we skip to lap 15 now. We dropped back a little bit. Blizzard and Suso really pushed on this lap to try and, well, they were pitting this lap basically, so they would use a lot of ERS to pull away. To try and make sure they didn't get held, but yeah, we come into the pit lane now. We're going to put a set of softs on for the final 12 laps of this race, so we should have decent pace, but annoyingly about these tyres, they're only really good for like 2-3 laps at the start, and you really need to be within the train to make any moves, as you'll probably see a bit later on. But somehow we jumped Suso, considering it was like a second ahead going into the pit stops. I'm not entirely sure how, but as soon as the exit, that's really screwed him, because he's going to be behind Petrux and Recon. So yeah, he's been pretty screwed by that. But we are in P12 then, so it's not too bad. If we can get onto the back of some of the medium runners, we might be able to scrape a few points at least. So, but the most important thing at this point is to make sure we get into the DRS of Jordan ahead, so we can yeah, get some DRS for ourselves and not lose too much time to Blizzard, obviously, who's the net fastest soft run at this stage. But yeah, Jordan pit a couple of laps earlier, which is why he's managed to undercut up into the position he's in. So as you'll see through the first sector, we did manage to get into the DRS, and I think he's going to make a little bit of a mistake up here. He runs a little bit wide. Very lucky not to spin the car or crash, but yeah, he does lose a lot of time, and he's now lost the DRS to Blizzard, so that's not ideal. We really need to get past to avoid losing any time here. So coming to the hairpin, this was sort of my mistake. He went very slow on the apex, a little bit of a tap, and with the way the physics work in this game, he loses a lot of time. I lose a lot of time as well, and you can see the gap to Blizzard now. He's pulled about 2 seconds on us both, so yeah, that's really not ideal, and it's hampered our race quite a lot, annoyingly. But yeah, we should be able to get Jordan here. I think I'm not sure, he didn't really have the best pace in the world. No, he picked quite early, and the tyres are really bad eventually, so yeah, we should get past on this back straight. But In terms of catching anyone else now, I know we're on the soft tyres, but the mediums are a very, very good race tyre in this in Japan, so it's going to be very difficult to catch up. We are going to get through on Jordan here very easily. Up the inside into the turn 1. We're going to be ahead before turn 1. And that is it. So we've got 2.2 seconds to Blizzard. I wasn't very optimistic on catching him. We did do slightly, although he got past Casper. We set the fastest lap, so decent pace, of course. But as you'll see, as we skip now on to the end of the race, yeah, we didn't really have the pace to catch anyone else. We caught the train eventually, but there was just no way through. And the medium tyres are, as I said, very, very good tyres. So it's pretty hard to get past. But we do have a little bit of ERS to use as we're trying to mount an attacking Casper. I wanted the inside line here, but he parked it sort of in the middle, and there's not really anywhere we could go. We tried to do a bit of a switch back or just try and find any avenue through, but unfortunately it's not to be. It's going to be P10 as we cross the line. Young Power's a penalty, so it's going to be P9. So the first points we've scored in 4 races, which is ridiculous considering the start of the season we had. But yeah, that is what it is then. That has caught up the last sort of 4 races. I've given all my excuses, as much as they shouldn't be excuses, but as you can see the standings here, this is not including Japan, but we are P4. I don't know how we're P4. We're P4 even though we haven't scored. You can see that all the zeros on the standings, which is really disappointing because of the good start I had, but yeah, I haven't had the time to or commitment as some other people that, only at school and stuff, so yeah. But anyway, that is it for this video. Hopefully in the final 2 races I'll have a little bit more time, maybe get some practice in and start to fight for a few more points and just generally have fun in the last 2 races of this game cycle. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. And hopefully we're back with some proper highlights within the next week or so. Now that I should have a little bit more free time, so yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.